Hey, everybody. It's Kelly, and I'm here with Anita Joyce, and this is Decorating Tips and Tricks. Today is episode 290. It's a wrap, gorgeous gift wrapping for the holidays. And you could find the show notes for today's episode at decoratingtipsandtricks.com/290. I love a pretty package.
I do too. I mean, I think we just like everything so pretty. And, even if you didn't do a good job picking out the gift, if it's wrapped in a nice way, you get points for that.
Oh, yeah. Like when I was in elementary school, I remember I would spend so much time doing a great cover for my reports, my book reports, because I love to color it and draw it and, maybe even make it like a 3D thing with some yarn or whatever. And, the contents might not have been so awesome, but the cover was really good.
Well, there you go.
And, it impresses the person when you're handing it to them. If the cover looks good, they might get a little distracted, not even really think about what's inside.
Well, and brown paper packages wrapped up with string.
Okay.
Come on.
I cannot even believe you just said that because, I wish I could take a picture. Here is my notes on this little piece of paper. Brown paper packages tied up with string. That's my first little note to myself.
Well,
for today's episode,
it is we do share a birthday, my dear.
Oh my God.
I know.
It's creepy.
That's my favorite way to wrap.
Okay. This is going to be really short because we're both saying the same thing. This is hilarious.
Yeah. And people think that it's bad when we disagree, but actually it's good when we disagree because then there's more content.
Yeah.
So now, we're done.
Exactly.
But this is absolutely my favorite way is the brown paper, kraft paper. And then you use the baker's twine and then maybe stick a sprig of greenery in there.
I'll come back later when we're ready for 291. I'll see you. You just take care of this one. You got it. I see where you're going with this.
But it really is. But the beauty of it is, here's the thing I've found from working in design for as long as we have. I used to think the more complicated, the better. But the reality is some of the simplest designs are just absolutely the best. And I found that seems to be an overarching theme of some of the best designs in history. And this is so simple, but so classic, has such an elegance to it. It's really hard to improve on that.
Agreed. Yes. I found that this year, getting off the gift wrap for 1 second, is my mantle. I mean, last year I was doing a promotion with a company and I got sent, and it wasn't Balsam Hill, it was a different company. I got sent all this stuff and I did my whole mantle and I was like, yeah, that looks really pretty, but I was like, And this year, it's super simple and I'm so much happier with it. It feels much more like me and it's, I think, more beautiful. Like I just wasn't trying that hard.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that way with the packages. And the thing about using this type of foundation for your packages is it's economical too. Like I looked up, because I was like, maybe I should just buy another roll of kraft paper last night on Amazon. I mean, you can get 200 yards or something of kraft paper.
I should just go buy it and then I'm done.
Oh, yeah.
Really.
The weird thing is you can't really find that so easily.
Yeah.
They don't sell it at the post office. They don't sell it at the Rite Aid or the CVS. I don't know where they sell it.
Yeah. I mean, that's right. Because the paper, and I have brown paper that I use for painting. For it's to cover the floor,
right?
Drop cloth, but it's super thick, so you don't want something that thick. You want it more like butcher paper. That's
right,
really.
But you don't want it laminated, like any kind of sheen on it, and you don't want it. Sometimes it has those subtle stripes. You don't want that either.
Well, and
you want the real kraft one.
So, and I'm hearkening back to a time. Back when I was an engineer, wore steel-toed shoes to work, the hard hat, the whole bit. I worked at a paper mill. And at Christmas time, they would give us some one-coat paper to take home. So it's thick white paper with that it was a shiny white on one side. And it was perfect for wrapping gifts. And so that's another alternative, is just simple white paper and you can go with the baker's twine for that. Or even a simple ribbon or just one color ribbon, maybe just buy a lot of one type of ribbon. And then you just change out your ribbon every year. I think the classic white paper is just as fantastic as the brown paper.
Oh, yeah. And can you get that in rolls, you think? Or do you have to work at a
Oh,
paper mill to get that?
I'm sure somebody sells it. Yes, I'm thinking that's the case. Yeah. And then you can buy the ribbon in bulk too. So I mean that's the beauty of both of these. They are not going to be as expensive as the regular wrapping paper. But let's say you want regular wrapping paper. Okay. I think the same principle applies. You want to go for something, I try to go for something very simple, and it doesn't have a lot of design to it. So I'm looking for a stripe, maybe a plaid, something with fewer colors in it. And I think that has that simplicity. And I'm not looking for something that has Santas all over it, unless it's for a small child that's going to go gaga over that. So yeah, I'm looking for something that just kind of looks a little more simplistic and a little more elegant. Here's another idea, is to use old sheet music and wrap that around. Isn't that a simple look that you can just add a bow to? Just so a beautiful pretty. One color bow or the twine.
Yeah. And you can do something like we say, the limited color palette with your whole house. You can apply that to your gift wrapping too. Maybe you say, okay, I'm going to do I like the craft paper idea. I'm going to do the craft paper and gold and maybe black or white or something like that. So maybe you have the craft paper. You could do something like maybe the smaller packages in the sheet music like Anita is suggesting. And then maybe you do other size packaging. Maybe you get a package of gold colored bags or something like that. And you maybe do some black or white tissue in there with a bow. So it all works together. And that just looks so pretty under the tree.
So another thing, remember we were talking the last episode about the black paper on the tabletop, and you could write with the chalk what the dish was. What about wrapping your presents with a black matte paper and then using chalk to put their names on it? Or maybe it's more like a white pen.
Yeah, I would do the white pen because the chalk, you could be like, well, and then, does this say Johnny?
I think Johnny might, or I think, Sissy might mark out the Johnny. Yeah. Yeah. I think, there might be a problem.
This is a little smeared.
Well, I think people might be changing who they're for,
They might be, they could change who they're for.
See,
your
that's
brother
would
have done that.
Yeah. Well, except, you'd have to make sure it's not a doll or something.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, here we go. Let's go back to the collective thought that this brown paper package, I won't sing. It'll be so awful.
Thank you.
Tied up in string. Julie Andrews could do it so much better than I. Okay. So you could do a whole thing with that, and it's really inexpensive. And I've done this. So you get your craft paper, your roll of craft paper for your boxes to wrap. Then you get lunch bags, the little brown lunch sack bags. You can get at the grocery store, 100.
So
for
paper bags, not the Ziploc bags that are plastic.
Yes, the paper bags, brown paper lunch bags. And then you can also buy the brown paper bags that have the handles. That you can get them on Amazon.
Oh, right.
You could get packs of them at Target too. And you can do all the brown now with the little lunch bags. So obviously the craft paper, you're wrapping up your packages, and then you can do a variety of different ribbons and things like that we can talk about. Now the little lunch sacks, so you could put in things like little toys or socks or something like that, small. You just fold it over, and then you do 2 hole punches, and then you can run a ribbon through that, and then you tie the ribbon together. It looks so cute.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Right. And then obviously the other brown, sort of like shopping bag, like the smaller sized one, like a small sized bag that you might get at a nice boutique or something like that, but just in the brown craft paper. Obviously, then you have an opportunity to bring in a colored tissue paper that might go with your ribbons, and then you can put a tag on it. Another thing that I've done in the past is this is really, reusable, economical, all of that. If you've gotten Christmas cards in the past and maybe you just cut the front off, but just don't throw the whole thing out. And so you've got this cute Christmas card or vintage Christmas cards, or you make something, a design, and maybe you photocopied or something. You could just cut that into a rectangle or a square, and you can affix it to the front of that bag and make it very personalized.
Oh, I love that idea. And speaking of personalized, I had an idea. If you had some rubber stamps that are initials,
Hmm.
you could actually use the stamps to spell out somebody's name and do that on the paper.
Oh, that's so cute.
But it has to be a flat paper, with no coating.
Right. So that craft paper would be great for that,
Yeah,
right?
the craft paper would be excellent for that because
That'd
that'll
be kind
really
of
take
fun
the
too
ink.
if you were wrapping with your kids. Like, okay, obviously not their own, but if you had a box and then you just gave them the stamp pad and the stamper and let them go to town on the box for, whoever, grandma's initial or their sister or brothers or something. That's so cute.
Well, and let's stick with the stamps for a few seconds because there's so many really cool stamps, and I just love the idea of kind of a handmade thing.
Mm-hmm.
So if you had the craft paper, I have a stamp somewhere. I don't know where they are, but it's just of an evergreen branch. So wouldn't that be cute? Just kind of use that kind of to kind of create your own wrapping paper and use that on the box.
That's a great idea. And, I'm going to bring up the toe tags. And, I still haven't come up with a better idea. The manila
Oh
tags
my goodness,
with the string.
toe. Oh.
Okay, so you can buy those like seriously like 1,000 in a box for like $10.99 or something at Staples or probably on Amazon. Okay, so I've teased, they're that manila color, which is fine.
Well, but you can get them in white too. I think
you can get them in white.
Mm-hmm.
You can also very easily spray paint them. I spray painted some silver.
I think it's just easier to buy them in the color you want them in.
I don't know if you can get them in that size though.
Okay.
For that price, and you just lay them all flat and you go and you're done. Or the other thing that I've done with them, and I have a blog post on this, so I'll put that in the show notes, is I tea stained them. So you just get so you've got these manila style, and they're also uncoated tags that have the strings. Now I took the strings off so the strings didn't get stained. And then I just brewed some tea in a like a big aluminum foil roaster pan. And I put a bunch of the tags in there and just let them sort of soak around. So they got this cool aged look to them.
Mm-hmm.
And then I stamped them with, I have a crown stamp, and I stamped them with the crown stamp, and they looked so pretty. And so I did that one year for my girls, kind of like princessy. And so I did the craft paper bags, and then I did some really, pink looks really pretty with brown. And so I did sort of the pinks and golds for them in ribbons, and then I tied on this tag that had this crown on it, like a tiara type of crown. It was so pretty.
Well, and speaking of, again, the stamps, I really, I'm not a crafty person. I don't do a lot of crafty things, but I really like the rubber stamps. And I have one that is of kind of old-timey script writing that looks like from an old letter. I mean, that would be fantastic to use that on some paper and then use it to wrap something, smallish.
Oh, yeah.
I love that idea. And then it just, again, the simplicity of it just has a beauty to it. And I agree with your idea of kind of using just certain colors under your tree. I think it ends up looking prettier. I mean, if that's not your thing, don't worry about it. But if you want, I want it to all look a certain way, then that's a great way for it to all kind of have a cohesive look. And, if you're going out and buying stuff anyway, it's easy to buy it all in the same color family.
Yes. Yesterday I was at the grocery store picking up some stuff, and there was a gentleman standing there looking at all these rolls of wrapping paper. And he just kind of looked at me and he's like, he's like, I hate to say it, but I don't want to, I spent so much money already. I don't want to spend more money on this wrapping paper.
So he didn't know who he was talking to. What did you say? Did you say craft paper?
I have to say, I could have stood there for like a half hour and given him all these ideas, but I didn't want to use it all up because I knew we were recording today. So I said to him, you may want to look into some craft paper. And I just walked away. I don't know if he had any idea what that meant. It was like a whisper. Craft paper. And I just kept walking. But it's true, like each roll, and you think you're getting a ton of wrapping paper, and then you're not. And then you have this giant roll, and then where do you store it and all that stuff? So if you go the craft paper route, right, you can use this paper like all year round. Like you can literally use it if you're doing a project because it's so inexpensive. Just rip off a bunch and put it under what you're going to spray paint, in April or whatever, and use it for wrapping paper. And then each year, if you go back to it, then okay, one year maybe you're doing, like I said, the pinks and the golds because you got some little girls in the house, and then another year maybe you're doing whites and and just sprigs of greenery that you clip from the garden or something like that. so easy. Maybe when you're doing plaids, you can make it look completely
Mhm.
different.
Oh, I love the plaid ribbon. And, so I've got some one year from the UK and there were all these Scottish tartans.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful. It's so hard to find the really beautiful plaid ribbon. So, I mean, that's something. And, I have my French velvet ribbon, but I don't know if I'm going to be using.
I wouldn't give that to anyone.
No, I don't think it's going on gifts.
Maybe just like wrap up your girls' presents in that, and then you can just take it back from them.
Yeah, I'll be taking that back. So
just rolling that up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hand that back. Bring that back to mommy.
Exactly.
And something I saw on Pinterest yesterday that I thought was a great idea, and it brings in my love of the romantic things. Did you ever have one of those wax stamps? Did you ever use the stamp?
Oh, yes, I had one of those. I don't think I ever used it, but I was like, oh, yeah, I have one of those.
Oh, I used it. See, I would have made a great pen pal for you because you would have. You
would have appreciated it.
I had pink wax and I had the A stamp, wax stamp. Man. So that was my seal that I put on there. And I don't even know where you would get the wax for this because it's a special high color wax. It's not like regular candle wax because the color is much more dense. But I saw that, I think it was white paper, and then they had done the baker's twine and then used a very bright red, not bright red, but a red,
right.
That sealing wax on the twine and used a stamp on it. And they had it, I think there were about 3 places where the twine was around the present and the stamp. It was really pretty.
Oh, yeah. Well, I just love that baker's twine. It just makes me weak in the knees.
I know. And I've got about 4 rolls of it somewhere. It's somewhere. I've got to look and see where I put it. I have no idea.
Oh, yeah. And that's something you can get your hands on.
If I can find it. Oh, well, yeah, you can buy it. Yeah, someone else can buy it.
Someone else can buy it. Or someone could go to your house and try to find it.
Good luck on that.
But I even like to use those little, balls of it, or I have a couple that are like wrapped around a little piece of wood in vignettes because it's just so cute.
Oh, I know. I love the baker's twine. There's something about it. I can't even tell you what, but I could display racks and racks of that in my house for some reason. There's something about it I love.
Yeah, no, it is. And obviously we're not alone. It is, in a lot of places, but it is super, super charming.
Well, I was going to say, I don't know how messy this would be, but I saw this idea too, where if you had a feather boa or something, if you cut it, not so you didn't use the whole boa in each present, but just stick that on the top of a gift bag.
Oh, that's so cute. I might do
Wouldn't that be fun? Now, yeah, but it might be messy, and don't blame me if it is. But it
would definitely be messy, but it might be worth it.
But it might be worth it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh. We had so many boas in my house in the dress-up box. And I would know when those came out. There'd be purple feathers flying all around.
Don't you just love a great recommendation from a friend? Well, we're delighted to be recommending these companies and their wonderful products to you today. And let them know your friends at DTT sent you. Go ahead. Clean out your closet. Then head straight to Quince. I love every item Quince offers, from wardrobe to decor. And I can really recommend their Ultra Stretch Super Wide Leg Pant at $49.90. The price is unbeatable, and the look is so flattering. It keeps you in on top and flares out of the bottom. Everything feels right with Quince. The price, the quality, and the sustainability. Quince offers a range of luxury wardrobe and home goods at prices within reach. And like Quince's clothing, their home goods are priced 50 to 80% less than similar brands. Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices, along with premium fabrics and finishes. Once you've cleaned out your closet and refreshed with Quince, you can also add something to your home decor. So give your wardrobe and your home the refresh it needs with Quince. Go to quince.com/DTT to get free shipping and 365-day returns on your next order. That's Quince, QUINCE.com/DTT for free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/DTT. And let me know how you love those pants. Green Chef is a delicious delight any time of year, but especially during the holidays. What a wonderful vision to behold as the Green Chef boxes on your doorstep. Green Chef is the #1 meal kit for eating well. And it makes eating well so easy with plans to fit every lifestyle, whether you're keto, paleo, vegan, vegetarian, gluten-free, or just looking to eat a more balanced diet. So let Green Chef take the work out of eating clean this holiday season. And if you've got guests coming, shop Green Bundles. They're now available at the Green Market. It's your one-stop shop for nutritious grab-and-go breakfasts, including vegan options, brunch kits, wholesome lunches, ready-to-eat snacks, veggie sides, and more. You can feel your best this December and do your best with Green Chef because they offset 100% of the delivery emissions as well as 100% of the plastic in every box. Go to greenchef.com/60DTT and use the code 60DTT and get 60% off plus 20% off your next 2 months. greenchef.com/60DTT and use the code 60DTT to get 60% off plus 20% off your next 2 months. I want to remind you that we are available for design consults. We take on your design dilemmas, questions, renovations, any project you want to talk about, any room, any space. We are here for you. And we really do enjoy doing these. And I think we've helped people a lot. So if you want to sign up for a consult, head to the link in the show notes. It's decoratingtipsandtricks.com/consult. We hope to talk to you soon.
Okay, so we gift wrapping a wrap, or we got some more to talk about?
Well, I have a few more thoughts here.
Bring them on.
Yeah, well, the thing about when you put your ribbon or your baker's twine on there to tuck in some greenery, maybe tuck in a branch of berries. I think you could use real greenery, or you could use some sort of a pick, some faux greenery in there. I think some other things you could do is you get your hot glue gun and put on some pine cones if it's not going to be thrown under the tree with other things on top of it.
And you say you're not crafty, but you are a packing a hot glue gun over there?
Well, a hot, yeah. Well,
all right.
Yeah. And everybody's got that. Or how about using the twine to tie on some ornament balls, some little ones? Wouldn't that be pretty?
Yes.
I know you like your shiny brights. You could put some of those.
But I would never tie my shiny brights on someone's gift. No. First of all, they're very fragile and they're very rare and they're very special. No, but the ones the ones that you're like, wow, I bought those like 12 years ago at CVS and to fill a bowl, and now I don't really want them anymore. But they look great on a gift.
I think the smaller ones would be really cute. Yeah. Maybe 3 of them of the small ones. I think that would be a pretty cool thing to put on there. And I'm trying to think. I mean, and you and I, we've had this discussion before about, is it okay to do a bag gift? And it doesn't have to be in a box, but I'm pro bag.
I'm very pro bag. I mean, a bag is also reusable. I mean, unless somebody, I don't know, goes crazy with it, you can reuse it. I mean, I use those bags often for my girls for their lunches. Not necessarily a Christmas bag, but if I had these kraft, the brown kraft bags that I do have around, and if they're used for a gift and it comes into the house, and then you'll use it again to, I don't know, return somebody's sweatshirt that somebody ended up coming home with. And, they're very useful. And then all of a sudden somebody's lunch is in it. So that's a great way to just, extend the life of your purchase anyway. And I think they look really nice. I don't think there's any shame in gift bags at all. I never understood the shame in the gift bag. So I'm very pro gift bag.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, and
those boxes are sometimes, lots of stores don't give boxes anymore.
Well, and it just feels painful to go buy a box to put some of these things in that don't really, that you don't have a box for. If it's a shirt, that's fine. But yeah, I think, I mean, it just works out well for some things just to do the bag.
Yeah.
And, that's maybe something we come up for next Christmas or some nice decorative drawstring bags that you can reuse year to year that are fabric.
Oh, that's a nice idea. But then you have to get them back. You'd be like, can I have my bag? Can I but is it like part of the gift? And then that person can use it. Maybe it just is
then they get to use it. Yeah. You don't get
it forward. Yeah. No, you don't have to say, and now I need to thank you very much. Now take your slippers and give you my bag.
You have a little string on it, and then when they take the gift out, you're just going to pull the string back.
My mother-in-law's like chasing her bag across the living room. No, that's my bag. You take the slippers, go the other way.
Yeah, that's right.
That is so funny. Oh my gosh. Good ideas. I'm just so cracking up that we had it's like brown paper packages. At first I was like, oh, maybe she's going to say that's not nice. And I was like, oh, then I'll just have to be quiet. No. When am I
and then
ever
we
quiet?
won't be friends anymore.
I think finally we're just gonna have to part ways. I do want to give a shout out to Romantic Homes Magazine for January and thank them very much for featuring my book. And I know that some of the Romantic Home staff listens to Decorating Tips and Tricks, so I felt I would be remiss had I not mentioned it. I thought it was going to be like one of those little, like in the corner, an eighth of a page. Maybe you should go look at this lady's book thing. No. They gave me like 4 or 5 pages in their beautiful magazine. So I was completely blown away. So thank you very much to Romantic Homes. If you guys are at all interested, you can pick it up at the grocery store or online at romantichomes.com. I guess we can put the link there. I think they also sell at Barnes & Noble and Target and Walmart and places that you might be shopping. So even do a little sheet. Like, yeah, if you don't want to buy it, just open it up and look. Mine's towards the back.
Okay. We love Romantic Homes Magazine. It's our jam.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful magazine. I've been in there a couple times and it's a great magazine. Go check out Kelly's feature. It's a beautiful one. And I had something I wanted to mention, an email that we just got while we were recording, Kelly.
Oh, wow. Okay. Is it good?
And it's from Ashley. Of course it's good. They're all good.
Okay.
Ashley, that's right. And she is from House Candy Home Staging.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. She said she just recently found the podcast and she says that we're relatable and super funny. We love you already, Ashley. And I just wanted to mention that she said she was listening to the holiday gift podcast episode and bought the Duralex food containers for her mother. And remember, those are the ones you said were boring and no one would want them for gifts.
I was like, did she just say food containers? Does she keep talking about how the mold doesn't get caught in them? Ashley, God bless your soul for buying those. I think is it your mother or your mother-in-law? I think they're going to love it. Why wouldn't they? And you like them.
Listen, I have switched over to, those are the only containers I use in my kitchen, in my refrigerator, and it all matches.
Oh, okay. Then
I'm telling you,
I'm gonna have to
it
catch
looks
up with
good
you
inside.
and Ashley. Then, if the double A's are doing it, I'm gonna have to do it too.
Ashley
Okay.
knows what she's doing, so
Yeah, Ashley will, and she could stage a mean refrigerator with those too.
see, it probably looks good. Yeah,
I'm sure it looks really good. Thanks, Ashley. That was really nice of you to mention that. And I wanted
thanks.
to
No, I appreciate it because it was vindicating. Because
it was kind of
totally
harsh
threw
on
my
you.
ideas under the bus. Yeah.
No, just that one. Because everybody knows Peter, edits the podcast. I didn't want him to be like, hey, great food storage containers. I guess that's what she wants. Maybe Anita's dropping this hint for Kelly. Meanwhile, I'm like singing Diamonds Are a Girl's Best Friend. Okay. And I did want to mention, because I think I've left Nina out. Nina with 2 N's. Nina also knew what the silver straw thing, which now we know what it is.
Yes.
So Nina, thank you for taking the time to email, and you were smack on right as well. And still so interesting. I've been talking about that all week. If I do get to go to some holiday Christmas parties, I might just bring mine along because it's a conversation starter. Everybody's talking about that. It's really kind of fun. Another person we wanted to mention was Susan J. from Rochester. Susan sent us a beautiful picture. Her son created this mantle for her of mercury glass, candles, and greens. And the candles were in a beautiful creamy tone. I mean, really, to rival the best.
Oh, I saw that one. That was beautiful.
Yes. I mean, Susan didn't mention her son's name, but hats off to you. Absolutely beautiful job. And for you to create that for your mom, I mean, that has just touched my heart. So stunning, so tasteful, beautifully done. Thank you for sharing that, Susan. And you must be so proud and so pleased to have a beautiful son like that would do that for you. Love it. So sweet.
Yeah.
Another fun thing was because we've gotten so many emails and we've got some, lots of people ask questions and then some people giving us tips. And we've got some tips coming your way in January that I think will be really useful. But just a few things I didn't want to leave unsaid before the year is out. Lisa M. she was, I think she was listening to one of the purging ones maybe, or just, talking about how, it's okay if you enjoyed something for a while, but she was feeling guilty about it. And I know I do too. In fact, I'll explain something to you guys after I tell you what Lisa said. But so she was kind of talking about that, and she was listening to a couple of podcasts that we talked about that. And her husband, I guess that's maybe a fly fisherman or something. And he said to her, like, I'm paraphrasing, but something like, it's okay, honey. It's like a catch and release. Like, you enjoyed it for a while and then you let it go. And that's okay. And I just love that. It's so true. Like, you know what? Sure. Sometimes you buy something like, I just bought this little runner and I wish I hadn't bought it. And now I'm like, geez, where can I put it? Maybe I can make something out of it. Like, it's just not going to work. It was a bad purchase, but it was like $35 or whatever. But those things aside, if you've had something for a while and you've enjoyed it, and even if you look at it now and you think, why did I ever even want that? But you've had some time of enjoying it and it worked in your home for a period of time, don't feel bad about letting it go to someone else, or don't feel bad about transforming it in the myriad of ways that we talk about doing.
Had instant regret.
Yeah.
Again, I don't think it even matters whether you enjoyed it or not. If it's making you sad to see it now, move it on out.
Catch and release.
Catch and release. There's probably somebody else that would love it. And I call it rotating, but I do a lot of catch and release. And somebody gets a great deal. I send it off to the thrift store. Some things I give away. Sometimes I sell the things. But it keeps things flowing and it keeps things interesting in my house. And I don't do it with everything. I just kind of bring things in. But my favorite things, obviously, I keep. But some things were just kind of maybe more for fun. And I just move them on out and give them to somebody or sell them. Catch and release, I think that is just the best term. I love that.
Oh, I loved it. Oh, so it was episode 262. And she said it must have been just made for me. She was letting things go and she was ready to leave the farmhouse, heavy duty farmhouse, look behind. And isn't that so sweet that her husband on his own, and she says in his own sweet man way, said, it's like when I fish, catch and release. You found these things, enjoyed them, and now it's time to let them go.
Yeah,
is
but
that the sweetest thing ever?
He is a keeper.
Yes.
He's a keeper.
Yes, catch and hold on. Good one.
But he's got great advice.
Great instinct and great advice, and knew exactly the thing to say to his gal, Lisa. So, and thanks for sharing with us, because I bet you that phrase from Lisa's husband is going to ring through so many of our heads as we're like,
I think we're going to have to do a catch and release episode.
We might have to do a catch and release.
Inevitably, with the new year come wellness goals. One very effective and easy to reach goal is to add Dose to your wellness regime. Dose is expertly formulated organic wellness shots that support your liver in one delicious drink. Formulated with ingredients clinically shown to support liver health. Potent turmeric, milk thistle, and ginger. There's 0 sugar and 0 calories. Did you know that your liver performs over 500 special functions? Since I learned all that my liver is doing, I started with Dose to support all those vital functions. I take a shot of refreshing Dose 2 times per week to combat everyday toxins from food, meds, alcohol, and unhealthy air. Since starting with Dose about a month ago, I am definitely feeling an overall improvement in my health. So if you want to give Dose a shot and invest in your health like I have, Dose is offering DTT listeners 15% off your first order, plus an additional 15% off if you subscribe for a monthly delivery. That's 30% off your first order. So go to dosedaily.co/DTT and use the code DTT. That's dosedaily.co.co/DTT and use the code DTT. Pesto pork chops over Parmesan polenta. Not that easy to say, but oh so easy to make with Green Chef. Green Chef is the #1 meal kit company for eating well, and we have such a great deal for you. You're going to save $250. Listen on for the details on that. Green Chef makes eating well easy for any lifestyle, whether you're keto, paleo, vegan, vegetarian, gluten-free, or just looking to eat more balanced meals. You know, we're getting into the busy holiday season, so it's a perfect time to have Green Chef help you out. Let Green Chef take the work out of eating clean this holiday season with their chef-crafted, nutritionist-approved recipes featuring fresh ingredients and nothing artificial. And you know what? You don't have to lose track of your healthy eating habits during the holidays. Every Green Chef customer gets a free session with their registered dietitians who will walk you through how to make clean eating work for you. So sign up for your free session and start on the road towards better health today. And that deal I want to tell you about, visit greenchef.com/DTT250 and use the code DTT250 for $250 off your order. So that's greenchef.com/DTT250 and use the code DTT250 for $250 off your order.
So catch and release that I recently had, and I was inspired by those words from Lisa and her husband, but also Nina Jean, I have to say. She said something to me the other day, and I was like, okay, girl, I got it. So we were talking about something about a coffee table, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, oh, yeah. I'm like, it's kind of like that coffee table I have on my porch. Like, I look at it and I'm like, I really like it. And it's like one of those metal ones with the scrolls, and I've had it for like 25 years or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was born with it. It's just been with me forever. And I feel like, it serves its purpose, but I don't really like it. And she said to me in her own charming way, put a fork in it. And you know what I did? I put a fork in it. It's gone. But you know what I did? I did a little Anita and I did a little Kelly. I took the glass off, saved the glass, and I took one of the, I had these cement columns that were left behind by the gentleman who lived here that, are really pretty. And I had one sort of tucked in a corner somewhere that was not doing anything for anything. And I carried that sucker, and Peter helped a lot. I carried it to one point, and then he carried it all the way out, carried it to the porch. We took the glass off, cleaned it up, and I put the glass on top of that, and it looks fab.
Stop it.
I did.
It's like Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz. You had it there all along.
I did. I had it there all along. Yeah, but I needed you to say that. And but it was also a catch and release thing, because I was like, it's fine. It's so fine. But I would take a picture and I'd be like, I hate the way that looks.
Mm-hmm. It's not you.
It's not me. Well, yeah. I was like, I'll spray paint it black. And I'm like, still not me. But anyway, that's my little catch and release. And thank you, Anita, taking your advice.
Blunt again.
It's good when you can have a friend that can be completely honest. I was like,
yeah. Well, if you had toilet paper on your shoe, I would be the one to tell you.
Well, that's what you want to know, right?
Yes. Well, this was so fun. And now I want to go wrap a bunch of presents, which is good because I have a bunch to wrap that are not wrapped yet.
Yeah. And try to do, it's now the 19th when this comes out. You still have plenty of time. But, I have made the mistake many of years of having very good intentions and then being up until 1:00 in the morning wrapping my girls' presents. Because, until very recently, everything was, as it should be on Christmas Eve and all of that. And, so the presents were just secretly going under there. And, you don't end up enjoying it. So try to carve out some time if you can to do it and really enjoy it. And, get a cup of tea or whatever, glass of wine, or put on your favorite show, or listen to some back episodes of Decorating Tips and Tricks and get your wrapping on.
Yeah, or some Christmas music.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed today's episode. And remember, we're here to inspire you to create a beautiful home. Until next time.
Hey, everybody, we want to thank you so much for listening to Decorating Tips and Tricks. And we want to make it even easier for you to listen. And it's easier if you subscribe. You just click the subscribe button on our website, www.decoratingtipsandtricks.com, or you can subscribe through Apple Podcast or any of your favorite podcast listeners. So until next time.